So pilot management is all done within the competition center. So here we are on the dashboard for our event, and in the top menu you'll see that there is a link to pilots, and this is the pilots management page. When we go in there, you'll see that we already have a whole lot of pilots assigned to our competition and a whole lot of data and information about them. So I'm going to walk you through what each of these things are, and then we'll look at how we can add another pilot to the list and update their details. So starting on the left-hand side here, we have firstly the competition number. So this is their official pilot number for your competition. We then have the pilot's name, their country, but also their photo. Now the photo that shows up in this column is the pilot profile photo that the pilot themselves have added to the system. So that's their preferred photo. However, in some cases you may want to override that, or in this case where there's Michael Scott that doesn't have a photo, you're also able to upload a photo that will replace that one. And we'll do that shortly. We then have the balloons that are assigned to those pilots for your competition. Again, we'll show you shortly how you can actually assign a balloon. We then have some of the details about the pilot and their WatchMeFly membership. So firstly, we have the email, the phone number, and their membership status. So this shows whether they are a WatchMeFly member or not. Now, it's important that they are a member because they won't be able to use the Balloon Live app without having a WatchMeFly login that's tied to their pilot profile. So here we can see that they are all members except for Michael Scott, who is not a member, and which also means we don't have Michael Scott's email address available. So one of your actions would be to ensure that this list has has member icons for every pilot. Otherwise, that pilot will not be able to use the Balloon Live app. We then have information about Balloon Live here. We've got the number of tracks that pilot has obtained during your event. We have their Balloon Live token. Now, in the past, this was an important number because the pilots used that in their Balloon Live app. Now they do not use this. This is purely here for our debugging purposes and to make sure that they are linked to Balloon Live. Pilots now use their WatchMeFly logins to access the Balloon Live app and to access your event. So in the past, where you used to have to send this token to the pilot, you do not do that anymore. That's just there for information purposes for officials. The more important column is this one here, which is the token paid. And this shows whether the pilots have actually paid for your event within their Balloon Live app. So when they first access your event and have logged into the Balloon Live app, they'll be prompted to pay the Balloon Live fee to access it. Once they've done that, it will show you that with a check mark that they have paid for the event. So before your competition starts, you need to ensure that everybody has paid and has a check mark for their Balloon Live token. We then have a few extra actions here. We can edit their details, which we'll do shortly, and also view tracks, which is where you can go and look at their Balloon Live tracks. This new token here, you won't ever really need to use this. This is legacy and will be removed from the menu in the coming months. Okay, so first thing we want to do is we want to add a new pilot to our pilot list. To do that, there is a menu up here in the top right corner that has a whole lot of other actions that you want to do. But what we're going to be doing is add and remove pilots. When I click on that, what I'm given is a list of every pilot that is registered in the WatchMeFly system, which is well over 1,000 pilots. And then on the right-hand side is all the pilots that are assigned to your event. So what we're going to do is we want to add a new pilot. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and look for somebody called Vincent Vega. We're going to add them by selecting them and hitting the arrow here, and that will pass Vincent over into your registered pilot list. We can then save that pilot, and we can now see that Vincent Vega has been added to the list, has been issued their Balloon Live token, and Vincent is already a member of WatchMeFly. So Vincent's there set up all ready to go. What we're now going to do is we're going to add another pilot. So I'm going to come back into the add and remove pilots. In fact, what we're going to do is we're going to remove Vincent Vega. We don't want him in this competition. but we're going to add a new pilot called Jesse Pinkman. So the first thing I'm going to do is search for Jesse. So I can't see Jesse Pinkman there using his first name. I can't find him there using his last name. So he is not in the WatchMeFly list of pilots. Please make sure that you do search for all name iterations before adding a new pilot, because we don't want to get duplicate pilots, because it makes things a little bit messy when it comes to all the data. So at the bottom of the form here, because we know there's no Jesse Pinkman as a pilot in the system, I'm going to add him here in this form. And Jesse Pinkman. And Jesse is from the United States. So we'll go and find that. Okay, so we can then hit Add Pilot. Now what we first do is we then go and look for Jesse Pinkman in the WatchMeFly member database. So we can see that Jesse actually already has a login to WatchMeFly. He's just not set up as a pilot already. So what we can do here is we can confirm that yes, this is Jesse Pinkman, and we want to link this new pilot to his membership. So by clicking yes, we now then have Jesse in the list here, and we can save pilot list. And now what we can see here is that Jesse Pinkman has been added. We have flagged that he is a member, and we already have a photo there for him because that's his membership photo. All right, so that's how you add a new pilot. Now you'll see on the left-hand side he has been issued a competition number of 0, which is not what we want. So we can go and update the competition numbers. To do that, we use that menu in the top right-hand corner and click on Issue Comp Number. And we're going to give him the competition number 9. And then at the bottom of the page is the update button. Once we click on that, Jesse's now pilot number 9. So there you go, he's ready to go. Now what we're going to do is add a little bit more information about Jesse. So we can come into this menu on the right-hand side for Jesse and edit pilot details. And in this page, we have a number of things that we can do. Firstly, in the top left corner, we can update and change the photo that we're using for Jesse. We can add his phone number and also some details about his crew chief and their crew chief's phone number. Again, these aren't used for any other purpose other than just being available for you as an official for reference if you need to contact them. At the bottom here, we can see which WatchMeFly member Jesse's been linked to. We have the ability to choose which balloon he's flying from a list of existing balloons that we have in WatchMeFly. So here we've got a lot of different balloons for different countries. We can also add a new balloon if that balloon's not in that list above. So what we're going to do first is we're going to change some of his pilot details. So we're going to use a new photo of Jesse because he's provided one as part of this event. So we've just put in a new picture there. Please make sure that those images are square images. It just looks a lot better on the website when the images are square in shape. And we're going to throw in his phone number as well. So once you hit update details, that will upload that new image of Jesse, which is this one here, and you can see his phone numbers there as well. But now we want to issue him his balloon that he's using for the event. So what we can do is come back into edit details, and first thing you want to do is search for that balloon in the existing list. Because again, similar to the pilots, we don't want duplicates. So what we're going to do is we're going to search for the registration, which I know is VHBNK. And we can see that there is already a balloon in the list that is that registration. So that's the one we're going to choose. Again, if you do need to add one, you may do so using this form below, but please just make sure that that balloon is not already in the system. And when you do upload a photo of the balloon, again, please make it a square-shaped image, not a rectangle, because it just will make that page look a lot better. Okay, so we're going to update the details. We've now assigned Jesse his balloon, he's got his photo, and we have the information we need about him. So he's ready to go. Now I just want to show you a couple of places where these images will appear, because it's quite important to understand what they're used for. So if I come back into the WatchMeFly homepage and go into the event which we're looking at, What we can see under the pilots page here is those things that we've got. So we've uploaded that image of Jesse, we've got him as a pilot, and we have the balloon that's assigned to him. You'll see we don't display the registration of the balloon on the website. That's been a request that we've had from many people not to show registrations on the public website, but they're available in the competition centre for your reference. Now, another location of where the balloon photos are used and the pilot profiles is within the WatchMeFly target tool. So I'm going to log into the target tool, which is used by the target team, and show you where they're used there. So if I log into the target tool, and at the top here, there is a link to balloon photos. What this is a page of all of the photos of the balloons that the target team can use to identify which balloons are dropping markers at their target. So it has, in competition number order, all of the balloon photos and who the pilot is and what their pilot number is. So this is why it's kind of important to add those balloon photos, not only for the public website, but just to help the target team identify who's dropping markers and what the balloons are.